Hey, boys and girls. This might look a bit different because this is another My Vinyls video, finally. Um, right over there is my desk, which is why I keep looking at it because I'm planning on talking about it. I didn't want to, with this vinyl, do it at my desk because there's not enough space and there's a lot of stuff in this vinyl. The vinyl that we're talking about today is one that I just recently got. It is Pure Comedy by Father John Misty. You may also notice that I'm wearing a Father John Misty shirt. It is because, as I'm recording this, last night I went to his concert and it was a great experience. He played all of the songs that I wanted him to. He played unreleased music. He played some rare songs, specifically In 20 Years or So, which is actually on this record. And as soon as I saw that they were selling this record, I knew I had to get it because this is my favorite Father John Misty album. So yeah, here's the record. I ended up getting um the sky, the rainbow sky. I believe, to my understanding, there are four versions of the vinyl with each one having a different sky, and I got the rainbow one, which I think was connected to the song Ballad of a Dying Man, if I'm not mistaken, or at least I've seen this sky used specifically with that song. So I'm unsure. And one of the coolest things about this record, which I really love, is that the back cover, if you can see there, the sky through the ceiling follows the sky that you get on the front cover, and it's random which cover you get. Now, I'll be completely honest. When I first saw all of the covers for this, I was like, wow, I hate the rainbow one. But now that I actually have a physical copy, it's become one of my favorites. Um, Mostly because of just how stark the contrast is between this happy imagery and all of the just overwhelmingly bad stuff that's happening down here, which I guess sort of connects to the album. And although I do prefer the red sky one, I think this comes in second for me. So yeah, it's a very bleak record art. Um, no artist name, no album title. It doesn't really need it, I guess. On the back, there's no like track list. It's just the art, which is amazing, I might add. Some of the best artwork I've seen, especially on the back. If I'm being completely honest, he should have made the back cover the actual cover for the album, but I think this is also very fitting. Opening up the record, we can see some other art of the many characters that are drawn on the front. Um, I haven't looked too deeply into it, so some of these characters might like be referenced in other songs, but you can see some not so child friendly characters in this, which I won't go too deep in. And since the album is, I believe, his longest, there are actually two vinyls with this one. So we're going to pull out the first vinyl from the little book thing, and we have this. Now, these slip covers are very cool. On this side, you have all of the credits for the album. All songs written by Josh Tillman, all songs published by, all that sort of stuff. You get some cool little artwork down there. But my favorite part about this slipcover is that it actually includes the essay that he wrote about the album before the album released, which kind of goes over um, what the album is about. I could read the start of it if you wouldn't mind. Pure comedy is the story of a species born with a half-formed brain. The species' only hope for survival, finding itself on a cool, unpredictable rock surrounded by other species who seem far more adept at this whole thing, and to whom the species is delicious, is the reliance on other, slightly older half-formed brains. This reliance takes on a few different names as their story unfolds, like love, culture, family, etc. Over time, and as their brains prove to be remarkably effective at inventing meaning where there is none, the species becomes the purveyor of increasingly bizarre and sophisticated ironies. These ironies are designed to help cope with the species' loathsome vulnerability and as a means to try and reconcile how disproportionate their imagination is to the monotony of their existence. That was just this small section of it. It's a very long essay, and I've read all of it before, and it's very good. If we take the actual record out, you can see that it's very sleek, very I don't want to say stripped back. You can see that it's just standard black vinyl, which I do love. It's very classy, and that classiness is even further portrayed on the sticker, which has a very 1930s Hollywood aesthetic, which is carried throughout the entire album, even though the album is very much about um, modern issues. We can see on side one you have the songs Pure Comedy, Total Entertainment Forever, Things That Would Have Been Helpful to Know Before the Revolution, and The Ballad of a Dying Man. If I had to choose a favorite song from this selection of songs on this side of the record, I would have to choose Ballad of a Dying Man, just because I enjoy how bleak it is. And on the other side, you'll notice far less songs on side B, with there just being Birdie and Leaving LA. Now, why are there so few songs on this B side? Well, it's because Leaving LA is 13 minutes, I believe, and Birdie is a bit over 5. So very very different time lengths throughout the entire album, I think, which is why it's one of his longest, and also why I love it. I'm a sucker for longer songs myself, but also just the sheer range of it. You kind of have songs with lengths for everybody within the record. We can now pull out the other side, of which the slipcover is just lyrics. If I had to choose some favorite lyrics, I would have to choose one from Smoochie, which is, "You stand alongside and say something perfect, like concealment feeds the fear, and hand me a sea peach and say, come over here." I also really, actually, it's in 20 Years or So. I really like the line, let me find it. "I read somewhere that in 20 years, more or less, this human experience will reach its violent end. But I look at you as our second drinks arrive. The piano player's playing this must be the place, and it's a miracle to be alive." So there are some amazing lines all throughout the album. You can find at least one or two in every single song. Some songs don't take themselves as seriously as others, but all of them have serious undertones. If I had to choose one which is a bit more fun, I would have to say Total Entertainment Forever, or maybe Ballad of a Dying Man, but this is very much a serious record, with the same themes throughout. If we take out the record, it's very similar to the first one. Let me find side 3. Side 3 includes the songs "A Bigger Paper Bag," "When the God of Love Returns, There Will Be Hell to Pay," "Smoochie," "Two Wildly Different Perspectives," and "The Memo." This side of the record, to me, feels a lot less bombastic than the first side, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's just it's a big change of pace after Leaving LA. If I had to choose a favorite from this side of the vinyl, I would have to choose Smoochie, just because I love the instrumentation and I love the vocal effects on the song. How he has that subtle, very deep version of his voice singing in the background. On the other side, we have yet again another two song side with "So I'm Growing Old" on Magic Mountain and "In 20 Years or So." I definitely love "In 20 Years or So," and it was actually the closer for the show that I went to that he performed. So overall, with both records and the overall quality of the records, just on first look, as well as the quality of the case itself, I I love the album. It's my favorite album by him. Hold on, let me put this away. Some of these book-like albums don't close if you have the vinyls in too far. So yeah, overall, I would have to rate the record a 9 to a 10 out of 10, and I would have to rate the physical record a solid 10 out of 10 for presentation and just sheer quality of the work. It also came, I didn't show it because it's kind of lame, or it's kind of lame looking, like not something that you'd show in a video. It came with a little receipt for a digital download code. I'm pretty sure all of his albums come with that. But yeah, if you're a big record collector, I would definitely recommend collecting this one. And if you're a huge record collector, I would recommend having one of every Sky if you really like the album. I'm definitely not going to go that far. I like this, and I think I'm liking the rainbow cover more every single day, just because it's mine. You know, this feels like I was destined to have this cover, and I got it. You know, so yeah, that's the second episode of My Vinyls. I hope you've enjoyed.